Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. From the discovery of a potential therapeutic target for treating inflammatory diseases to a study raising the need to adopt advanced wastewater treatments, we have plenty in store for you. So let us begin with the headlines. A global study finds India to be the most cost-effective country for generating rooftop solar energy. The study also reflects India's commitment to reducing carbon emissions. Potential therapeutic target identified within the immune system for treating chronic inflammatory diseases. The discovery opens the possibility of designing new drugs for multiple inflammatory disorders. Researchers from IIT Madras detect high levels of pharmaceutical contamination in the Kaveri River. The study raises the need to adopt advanced technologies for wastewater treatment. And Vigyan Prasar aims to include more regional languages to widen its science outreach programs. A day-long workshop conducted to discuss the future strategies of scope in all Indian languages. And now the news in detail. A global study has found that India is the most cost-effective country for generating rooftop solar energy. The study mapped 130 million square kilometers of the global land surface area and identified the rooftop area using a machine algorithm to understand the electricity generation potential of rooftop solar photovoltaics globally and its associated costs. In a way, this study also reflects India's commitment to using alternative energy and reducing carbon emissions. Here is a report.
In view of the ever-increasing carbon emissions and the environmental damage it brings the world over, people are looking at alternative and clean energy resources. The most practical of these clean resources is solar energy. The Government of India has also taken many steps in this direction under its solar mission. And the results of these efforts have been shown to be very positive in a recently released global study report. The study report has been prepared by Professor Priyadarshi Shukla, who is also the director of Ahmedabad University's Global Center for Environment and Energy, Shivika Mittal from the Imperial College London, and James Glynn from Columbia University. The team was led by Siddharth Joshi, a researcher at MAREI, the island-based premier research center for energy, climate and marine research and innovation. According to this report, the cost of rooftop solar power projects in India is $66 per megawatt hour. In China, it is $68 per megawatt hour. In USA, it was found to be $238 per megawatt hour. And in UK, it is $251 per megawatt hour. In the past decade, the use of rooftop solar photovoltaics has increased significantly across the world due to the decline in the cost of setting them up, coupled with policy-oriented initiatives of various governments. Between 2006 and 2018, the installed capacity of rooftop solar photovoltaics (RT-SPV) has increased from 2.5 gigawatts to 213 gigawatts. And by 2050, up to 49% of global electricity demand is projected to be met by RT-SPV. The study also noted that rooftop solar photovoltaics technology is currently the most rapidly adopted energy generation technology. RT-SPVs can be easily installed as a decentralized system in homes, offices, industrial and public premises. India can move ahead faster than other countries in the field of solar energy due to its expertise and the low cost involved. This will prove to be an economical solution not only to protect the environment but also to meet the country's growing energy needs.
Groundbreaking collaborative research by IIT Kanpur and the University of Queensland has identified a potential therapeutic target to treat chronic inflammatory diseases. The researchers have gained new information on the functioning of a protein receptor so far thought to be silent or non-functional. This research can be helpful in developing new drugs against inflammatory diseases, including even COVID-19. Here is a report.
Several immune-linked inflammatory diseases such as cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, sepsis, asthma, and Alzheimer's get more severe as they get older. Research is still underway to find the exact, most effective treatments for these diseases. As part of this research, researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, in collaboration with an international research team from the University of Queensland, have identified a potential therapeutic target for treating chronic inflammatory disease. Professor Arun Shukla from IIT Kanpur, in collaboration with Professor Trent Woodruff of the University of Queensland, Australia, Asuka Ino of Tohoku University, Japan, and Stephen A. Laporte of McGill University, Canada, has shed light on a protein receptor that plays an important role in the moderation of many immune and inflammatory processes. The researchers have also explored the receptor's use as a potential therapeutic target for treating multiple chronic inflammatory diseases. The results of this pioneering research have recently been published in the journal Molecular Cell.
We have discovered and characterized a new class of receptors that were earlier believed to be silent or non-functional receptors. These receptors were called non-functional or silent receptors because they did not signal through the well-known, well-established mechanisms of downstream signaling. In this research article, we have shown that the so-called non-signaling or non-functional receptors indeed signal through an alternative mechanism through a class of proteins known as beta-arrestins.
This is the first time researchers have identified key molecules within the immune system that may help fight the inflammation that drives chronic inflammatory diseases. The research sheds light on the protein receptor C5AR2, which was previously believed to be a non-functional receptor. Because of its unusual structure, it has been really challenging for researchers to understand how this protein is activated. The researchers found C5AR2 relies on signal-regulating proteins known as beta-arrestin proteins, rather than coupling with cell-signaling proteins. The study looked at the interaction between C5AR2 and the beta-arrestin protein and examined the molecules that activated the association between the two. Activation of C5AR2 provided researchers with key and specific cell signals that may boost the immune system's response to inflammation.
This discovery now opens the possibility of designing new drugs in various inflammatory disorders such as rheumatoid arthritis, heart failure, and even in COVID-19. And going forward, we are trying to visualize these receptors at high resolution using cryo-EM as the method in order to provide a structural template to discover and characterize novel therapeutics.
This discovery is believed to open a new avenue for developing solutions against chronic inflammatory diseases. This could also help diagnose challenging immune system problems such as cancer, brain disease, respiratory disease, and COVID-19, and also help in designing better drugs to treat them.
Researchers at IIT Madras have detected high levels of pharmaceutical contaminants in the Kaveri River. The study, carried out with the joint funding from Water Technology Initiatives of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the UK Natural Environment Research Council, highlights the increasing risk to life from river pollution. This study has also emphasized the need to rigorously implement wastewater treatment techniques. Here is a report.
Rivers are considered the lifeline for all living beings, as they fulfill the fresh water needs of all life on Earth. This is the reason that human settlements have usually developed on the banks of major rivers. But now, these very human settlements and activities in them are making the life streams poisonous. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, conducted a study on the river Kaveri. The researchers found high levels of pharmaceutical contaminants in the river water. The research, which has been jointly funded by the Water Technology Initiatives of the Government of India's Department of Science and Technology and the UK Natural Environment Research Council, shows that the river Kaveri contains substances including medicinally active compounds, personal care products, plastics, heavy metals, and even pesticides. These can harm humans and do irreversible damage to the ecosystem in the long run.
There are a lot of reports about antibiotic resistant microorganisms and antimicrobial resistant genes existing everywhere. So we wanted to see what is the level of these compounds in our rivers, and in India not much data is available on these aspects. So in order to do this one, we got a project from Department of Science and Technology to find out what is the concentrations of these pollutants in the rivers and sediments. Not only that one, once you find out this one, what are the remedial methods, developing technologies for rural areas as well as in urban areas to abate this type of pollutants.
Regular assessment of the water quality of rivers helps to understand the factors that affect the distribution of contaminants and their effects on all life forms. The research team monitored the water quality of the Kaveri River for 2 years and assessed the seasonal variations. For this, water samples were collected from 22 treated and untreated wastewater discharge points. Various pharmaceutical active compounds used in anti-inflammatory, anti-hypertensive, antidepressant and antibiotic drugs were found in the water of Kaveri River, besides metals like arsenic, zinc, chromium, lead and nickel. This environmental risk assessment has shown that pharmaceutical contaminants pose a high risk to the aquatic organisms as well as humans.
We have carried out the sampling during the pre-monsoon period and post-monsoon period of 2018, 19 and 20. During the study, what we could see is in almost all these stations we could find many of these pharmaceutically active compounds and personal care products. The microorganism in the water getting exposed to these small concentrations of pharmaceutically active compounds, so that one will trigger antibiotic resistance in the microorganism. When these microorganisms enter into our body and cause some diseases, the existing antibiotics will not be effective.
The results of this study have recently been published in the peer-reviewed journal Science of the Total Environment. As India is the second largest pharmaceutical manufacturing country in the world, this research emphasizes the need to upgrade and rigorously implement wastewater treatment systems. This will help reduce the level of contaminants flowing into the rivers and their tributaries with regular monitoring.
Vigyan Prasar now aims to add more regional languages under its program Science Communication Popularization and its extension, or SCOPE, to expand its mission of science communication and popularization. To provide momentum to this endeavor, a stakeholder meeting was organized in New Delhi on the 20th of October to deliberate on future prospects and strategies, in which participants from all over the country took part. For more details, let us see the report.
Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous organization of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has been doing remarkable work in the direction of science communication and its popularization for the past several decades. In order to expand its work, Vigyan Prasar has taken the Scope for All initiative, under which scientific knowledge will be spread using various regional languages, including local dialects across the country. As part of this expansion, Vigyan Prasar recently organized a stakeholders meeting under the Scope for All program in New Delhi. Science communicators, teachers, writers, journalists, experts and scientists from different parts of the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, participated in this meeting to discuss the future possibilities and strategies of Scope. These experts from different parts of the country came forward to plan actionable items and review the work done so far.
It was important for us to catch hold of all the stakeholders of Scope in different languages. Because the moment you start speaking in somebody's language, the connect gets much quicker, much faster and much more effective. We are very happy that we were able to get hold of subject matter experts from various languages who've been working relentlessly in this area, and they were here today. We discussed on what we have done in the past and what we intend to do. So both tactical and strategic initiatives about Scope's implementation in Indian languages was discussed in detail.
Vigyan Prasar has long been working to kindle the public's interest in science by using physical and multimedia touchpoints. This is part of its efforts to build a country filled with scientific temperament and create an aware society. It is towards this purpose that various stakeholders have been added to the Scope program to help promote science communication in their respective fields. To ensure quick and effective implementation of science communication and popularization at all levels in the society, connecting through one's own language is the first step. The efforts in regional languages include monthly popular science magazines, regular lectures on latest development and cutting-edge research, publication of popular science books, harnessing social media to capture the imagination of youth, and producing television programs based on science.
This one-day meeting, we were able to find out that the initiative that we began in various languages is actually yielding results. A lot of very good insights and also huge enthusiasm for taking science in mother tongue. This also proves that there is a very huge need for communicating science in the mother tongue.
To reach each and every person, it is important to communicate in the right language, a language a person can understand. That is why the emphasis is on adding as many regional languages as possible. Vigyan Prasar has added Kashmiri, Dogri, Urdu, Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, Assamese, Nepali and Maithili, besides Hindi and English, in its first phase of enhancing its science outreach programs. Vigyan Prasar is also preparing to make available its database in these languages.
And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, recently visited the Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development at Imphal to review the DBT projects. Reflecting the commitment of the Government of India, the Union Minister said that the Northeast region will be developed as the bioeconomic hub of India. The Eastern Himalayan region is one of the mega biodiversity-rich zones and is among the 34 biodiversity hotspots of the world. Dr. Singh emphasized the need to put these invaluable genetic resources to use for the economic growth of the region in particular and to the nation in general through biotechnological interventions. The Union Minister said that IBSD should not only become a centre of excellence in the region with state-of-the-art facilities, but also generate technology packages toward employment generation for the welfare of the people. He also said that the DBT-funded phytopharmaceutical lab facility at IBSD is promoting the phytopharmaceutical mission of Northeastern region. Scientists have confirmed a new species of onion in Uttarakhand. The new species was discovered in 2019 by Dr. Anjala Pandey, principal scientist at ICAR, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources in New Delhi, together with scientists Dr. K. Madhav Rai, Pavan Kumar Malav and S. Rajkumar. Although new to science, the species has long been cultivated and used by local communities. The new species has been named Allium negianum after the late Dr. Kuldeep Singh Negi, a researcher and scientist who was a collector of allium. Allium negianum grows at an altitude of 3,000 to 4,800 meters above sea level, and so far has been found only in the grasslands, river banks and snowy pastures of the western Himalayas. Allium is a genus of 1,100 species found worldwide that include many staple foods such as onions and garlic. Indian Agricultural Waste Recycling Project Takachar is among the winners of the first Earthshot Prize instituted by Britain's Prince William. The aim of the prize, dubbed as the Eco Oscars, is to provide assistance to and inspire innovative local solutions amid the growing climate crisis that is being faced globally. Each year, for the next 10 years, the Earthshot will be awarding £1 million each to 5 projects that are working to find solutions to the planet's environmental problems. At the first Earthshot Prize Awards ceremony held in London on the 17th of October, 5 projects from around the world were selected. Delhi-based entrepreneur Vidyut Mohan has been awarded in the Clean Our Air category for his innovation that was recognized for its affordable technology to convert crop residues into sellable bioproducts. Another Indian, 14-year-old Tamil Nadu student Vinisha Umashankar's eco-friendly innovation solar power ironing cart also made it to the finals before losing out to the winners. NASA launched its ambitious Lucy mission on October the 16th. Launched in collaboration with the United Launch Alliance, this mission is the agency's first to Jupiter's Trojan Asteroids. At 3:04 p.m. Indian time, the Lucy mission took off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida on an Atlas V rocket towards the orbit of the planet Jupiter. The objective of this mission is to study 2 groups of asteroids moving in a swarm in Jupiter's orbit, which are called Trojan Asteroids. Scientists believe that these asteroids are fossils from the formation of Jupiter and that important information about the origin of the solar system may be hidden in these asteroids. The mission is expected to help us better understand the formation and evolution of the early solar system. The mission has been named Lucy, after the fossilized skeleton of one of our earliest known hominin ancestors.
And that is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. You can send us your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is indiascience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, A50, Sector 62, Noida, Uttar Pradesh, 201309. So we'll take your leave now. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically. Bye for now.